Hello, everybody. I'm trying to be Tamara. Welcome to the August 29th. Oh, I've got to practice a little bit more. Hello, weekly hangout. I only have a few people, but they're all my favorites. No, I'm just joking because people listening to this recording will say, wait a second, am I not her favorite? Everybody's my favorite. I hope everyone's having a great week or had a great week. We are almost in September. What the hell? How did that happen? Like, honestly, I don't know. It's funny. I was at my company party last night, and there's a young woman there who's very spiritual, and she's into healing and chakras and all that. And I love that stuff. I'm very curious about it. And she was saying how the energy right now is just so fast. Everyone's moving so fast. Everything's happening so fast. Not really fast because of all the COVID stuff, but our heads are full of stuff from, you know, what's happening right in front of us, our own families. And then we have these outside influences known as COVID and for people living in BC, they've just announced a passport system starting in September and then again in October. And as of now, if you don't have your first vaccine, you have to show that you've been vaccinated with a passport in order to get into restaurants, sporting events, concerts, like basically anything. I think people who they're saying who haven't had a vaccination are only allowed to go to grocery stores or the doctor. So it's been, Facebook has been a poop show of, people's opinions and it gets really, it actually upsets my stomach. Like, I have a real hard time with it because I hate controversy, and it's just, and then when the opinions start to grow, they get bigger and bigger on both sides, and then everybody's really mad, and then there's a massive wall, and like there's no or haven't seen any sort of come to Jesus type stuff. Like, just everybody calm down, relax, we can do this. Anyway, so, but having said that, now this is going to sound very opportunistic, but you know what? This time we can't let this go like I did last time when COVID first hit in March of 2020. And gyms were closed and restaurants were closed and like everything closed, the whole world closed. And I remember Harv, my husband, looked at me and he said, well, now, like, Beachbody, you should be able, this is your oyster. Like, people are going to need what you have. But at the time, and I don't know who else was coaches on here, but you don't want to, it's almost like chasing an ambulance, like you don't want to say, hey, you that I know you worked out, now you can't. So, hey, what about me? So it's a weird place, but it's happening again. So people who, in my opinion, just throwing this out there, but people who have had their vaccine, they might be a little less hang on, someone else is coming in, less intent on going to a gym. People who have not had their vaccine cannot go to a gym, or they're not supposed to. Gyms might be letting, like, they might just go and have anybody come in, which will mean the people with vaccines won't want to go to that gym. Like, there's a whole bunch of reasons now, again, why people need what we have. So that's just a thought that I had for building this. And I am now going to be taking my Facebook group. I had a Fit Club Facebook group, which Crystal is and MJ and we all work on in there. And Jasmine, and we're going to move it to a bod group because Facebook is just too noisy. It's too, you can't find groups, you can't find, and if you're looking for a group and you're scrolling down and you're seeing all the nonsense and then you get stuck on that, and it's just too ugly right now in there, in my opinion. So I'm really focusing on bod groups now because that's a completely safe place. That's where we can really help our people, like really, really, really psychologically, emotionally, mentally, physically. Bod groups is the thing. So having said that, I was just going to, how Tamara usually starts the call is talking about what she's going to do this week. So I thought I'd just talk about what I'm going to do this week, and then we can open it up and share. So September 1st is Wednesday. So I'm at Success Club 9, I think. My cousin just got a challenge pack today. So I need one more. I'm going to try to hit Success Club 10 by Tuesday, I guess, end of day Tuesday. So if any of you are sort of sitting there with almost at Success Club 5 or 10 or whatever, I did get an email. I'm not sure whether all of you got an email saying that you can get an extra. In Canada, it's $12 off. In US, it might be $10 off. Did you guys all get that email? Just the last chance type of thing. So that's something you can offer your new people. And it does expire on August 31st. So something to think about. And also think strategy now, because September 1st is on Wednesday. So hopefully you'll hit Success Club 5 minimum by Tuesday. But if you have other people that are interested, don't even send them a share a cart until September the 1st. Like once you have hit the Success Club 5, hold on to those other people and then send them the share cart maybe on September 1st. If you have people like that. And we can all launch to September 7th as our starting date for our bod groups or whatever. That's what we're doing anyways. And I think I've said too, for people, they can either start September 7th or September 14th, because I know September 7th is back to school and all that stuff. So maybe when everyone has a chance to breathe, we really launch in September 14th. But just get yourself to where you want to be for August, and then think, what's that amazing trainer's name? And she says, reverse engineer where you want to go and how you're going to get there. And the theme that I've seen for September is better together. I love that. Is the perfect theme for this time is better together. We're virtually together, but we're better together. And I love that theme. And you can use it you could create your own little images or whatever. And you know, your own family, your own fitness friends, your own self, you're better together. I know Crystal has a beautiful shirt that says better together. Take a photo of that thing. And then I'm sort of switching gears to the preferred customer thing. Have you guys all heard and listened to that? I know it's an hour long, but have you listened to the hour long preferred customer? So that's actually a good thing. The one thing that they said in there was, don't call it downgrade. Like if you do have coaches, discount coaches who've been sitting there, not, and they just don't want to do the business, that's totally fine. It's totally fine if they don't want to do the business, but it's easier. It's more clear for you as a coach to see on your team who is a coach, who is a preferred customer, and who is a customer. Then you're not like me. I've got a lot of coaches on the team. And of course, I send them, hey, do you want to join this hangout? Do you want to join this? And they never come. So I almost feel like I am being a pest. But if they clearly become preferred customers, I don't ask them anymore. And then your clarity on who's running with you as a coach becomes crystal clear. The crystal, just like crystal. So, oh, hang on, Ashley's coming in. So I highly advise, and I've reached out to a couple of my discount coaches, and it's not a bad thing. Don't make it a bad thing. That's what they were saying. You call it a now I've left my notes in the house, but it wasn't downgrading to preferred customer. It was called something. Do you remember? Anybody remember what they called it? Because you don't want to make it sound negative. It'll come to me. Anyways, so that's going to be a great way to figure out who's with you and wanting to build a business. And then you can maybe get some strategy business meetings going. The world of online fitness is only going to continue to grow. I know realtors who are selling brand new homes. The brand new homes are being built with an indoor office, a home office and a home gym. All of them. So the world of online in-home fitness is going to continue to grow over the next 10 or 20 years. So we are in this at a really good time. We just have to get the word out that it's doable and we can still do it and be together and cheer each other on. No into Facebook, I said. Live. Oh, for those of us in BC, we are doing the live workout next Saturday in Maple Ridge, Pitt Meadows, I think it is. And for anyone who's not local, maybe you guys, you can grab a couple of girlfriends or whoever and do it too in a local park, wherever you are. Maybe download one of the workouts and just do it together in the park. And maybe even somehow use the image that we have and just change the words on it if you can in Canva to wherever you are, and do your own little live workout. We're going to try and do them once a month in different locations, and just so you guys know who are local, as I say, ours is next Saturday. I'm bouncing around all over the place. There's a couple more things I just wanted to say, and one of them was my little I had a chance to be the 5-minute speaker on the Level Up call or whatever it was a couple weeks ago. And the thing that I think we all are nervous about doing is just asking the question about, if you're tentative about asking somebody to be a part of this, to be a customer, join us as a fit club, or, join our team, do you want to exercise with us and all this stuff. And you're only giving them a little bit of information. People get confused. They need to know black and white what the hell you're talking about, because I know I have confused many people with what we do. And I'm trying to flip the script and now say compliment and follow. First of all, have a good conversation with them and get to know them, but also then say, I became a coach, or something about being a coach, and you would be an amazing, like you and I have a lot of similarities, or I hear what you're saying about whatever. And, those are the types of stories that really resonate with other people in your same situation. Would you be open to hearing about being a coach? That's it. And they'll either say, well, they'll say something, because that's sort of a big question. It's like, would you be interested in running for president? Like, you're asking them something really kind of cool that maybe, and it's kind of a nice little ego thing. Wow, she thinks I could be a coach. Then if they say no, you have another, okay, not a problem. I understand if it sounds a little scary or whatever, but this is what I do and everything. And maybe you might want to consider being a customer or a preferred customer and getting to know us and getting to know the group. But if you start with coach and then bring it down, as opposed to sort of starting at the bottom and sort of saying, do you want to join our fit club? And what's your fit club? Well, it's online, it's virtual. You don't have to come. What? How do I do that? Like, start maybe at the top and then dumb it down for people that are that word of asking people if they're open to hearing about being a coach. A lot of people like that question, and they'll give you an answer one way or the other. And then at least you'll know where you stand and how you can continue the conversation. And some will join and some won't. And I mean, you might even get all the way. In fact, I asked a woman, and she's been following me forever, and she's been doing all the free groups, and never has said anything. And finally I just said to her, I think you'd make an amazing coach. And she was like, what? I said, you're this or you're that, and she doesn't like her job right now, and she's looking after her boyfriend and all this stuff, and it is sort of, she thought about it. She hasn't said yes or anything, but I've sort of stepped up the conversation for her and put a bug in her ear about potentially being a coach. And then I talk about COVID, what's been happening, the world of online fitness. If you're talking to someone too who has owned their own business, or they currently own their own business, or they're currently in another network marketing company or multi-level marketing company, personally, those are really good people to talk to, because they already, and you say that to them. I spoke to a woman yesterday, she owns her own travel business, and I said, you own your own business already. So you're an entrepreneur. And so as an entrepreneur, And especially with what's happened with COVID, you can probably see that the world is changing. People are more tentative about going to a gym. People are building their homes with home gyms. This is going to be a growing opportunity over the next 10, 20 years. And, you know, this is why I became well, this isn't why I became a coach. I became a coach for my own personal stuff, but maybe you might want to consider looking at this as a fitness franchise, like a small, your own little virtual fitness franchise opportunity, and see where it can take you. If you say it that way and you're just sort of asking questions, it's amazing the responses you'll get. This woman is thinking about it, and I barely know her. So that's why I'm saying don't be afraid of that question. And also, again, it cleans out the clutter, like I say, coaches, personal or preferred customers. We clean. We know now these guys we're going to focus on with business. These guys are going to try do our products. They're going to be our best cheerleaders. And always remember, your preferred customers and your customers can be the ones that lead you to your next amazing coach, because now you've duplicated yourself, and people are loving the fitness and whatever. They don't want to be a coach, but their sister in Alberta is struggling and wants to be a part of this group, and blah, 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 and they can have the conversation then. But you still would potentially be coaching a lot more people if you're using what you've got in front of you with your team and your customers. So don't forget to just ask the question and go from there. It's a fun way to do it. And it's not that scary. Once you start doing it, once you start asking that question, you're going to get all sorts of people that they'll say no, they'll say, wow, I never thought of that. Or they're going to say, yeah, I'd like to check out what that's like, which is going to make you fall over, because you're going to be like, really? Okay. I was so afraid to ask you. Anyways, that's about, what time is it now? 9:22. Okay, I've talked enough. One thing just to remember to do, and I'm sure you guys all do it. Oh, here we go. Another one. I'm sure you guys all do it anyways, but if you do want to treat this as a business, which the people on this call are the types of people that do, from MJ to Ever, and she's got to go, do want to build this business, I think you do have to try to attend one or two things in a week, just like a business that you would be employed by or that you own or whatever. You do have your weekly meetings, your sales meetings, your whatever that you have to go to, because those people are paying you a paycheck, or your team meetings or whatever. So I find that the National Wake Up Call on Mondays are really good, because they're at 8 a.m. I drive into work at 8 a.m. I put my earphones on and I listen while I'm driving, because I'm multitasking just like all of us are. We've got other jobs and other things we have to do. But those are awesome, because you hear a lot of other people's journeys and stories, and those will not only resonate with you, but they'll resonate maybe with somebody that you're talking to. So I really enjoy, and they're at a good time for me. And then I also, as much as I can, get into Angie's group. I don't know how many of you guys are in Angie Belmar's group, but I try to watch her trainings too. She's amazing. She's got great trainings. We have so many, almost too many, but still it's not too many. It's just that we just don't have to find them. We just have to, okay, I need to be trained on this. Where the hell is it? Okay, it's over here. So thank you, Tamara, who's probably going to be listening to this, because she has helped me navigate through and find all sorts of things, but that's what we're all here for. But do try to keep yourself in the game with the trainings as much as you can, because that's the way because you're on your own in your own house doing this as a business. So you do need to sort of listen to what the experts have done, and you might as well just follow what they're doing, copy what they're doing, because that's what it's all about. I think that's it. I just wrote down about the COVID rules, but that was about it. Live workout for the locals. So there we go. Now I'm opening it up to the floor to see what is going on out there with everybody else. How was your week? How's your week coming up? What are you going to be working on? Someone's reaching her microphone.
I'll
there.
go.
Okay.
So basically, I joined as a coach like about 3 years ago, and I kind of just I sat there and I did nothing, but I showed up, I did the vitals, I did all the things, and I was basically just, you know, a client or challenger, and I kind of still am. And like this past year has really kind of hit me in a way where it's just like, gotta why, you know? So this whole week I've kind of hit the restart button on a lot of things and just kind of got back to me. And so the one thing I'm trying to focus on is I have to keep it simple. I have to keep my goals short term, because if I think too long term, I'm going to overwhelm myself and I'm going to fall flat on my face. So I'm like, okay, what are some short-term goals I have? Okay, this week I want to at least post 2 or 3 times a week, and you know, 2 or 3 of them have to be reels, or like I just have to talk, I'll have to have like 3 or 4 conversations this week. And I'm just trying to simplify it, and like I'm modifying different playlists for myself, what I listen to, and just kind of getting back to me and just growing in it. And my commitment to this business, my commitment to um, my wellness, and just kind of I took some advice. I forgot who it was on what call that said, maybe it was Tamara on this call that said, um, follow other coaches. No, it was a wake up call. It was a wake up call. And it was follow coaches that are in the same, you know, transition as you. Because if I'm following other coaches that are like moms, like I'm gonna be like, I can't resonate with that. I can't do that. So I had to unfollow a lot of different people and just kind of find other people that I'm like, okay, we're on that same wavelength, and then just kind of modify it in a way that's what I'm doing, you know? So, you know, it just to reach my audience and my niche and like all that stuff. So this week I'm gonna focus more on talking about our fit club and the opportunity, and kind of telling my story more. I haven't really told that a whole lot in things that I've been through. So I'm just focusing on opening up, getting back to the basics. And like I said, just kind of hitting the restart button. And it's kind of like, you know, falling back, fall time, and just being commitment to your growth and your journey, and not so much what your goal is. So, I mean, yeah, I have goals. I have like big goals, but like sometimes they're just so big. Like I said, I'll fall flat on my face. So I'm just kind of taking those steps. And then I also got a progress journal. That's just, you know, kind of what are my 3 habits I'm going to implement this week, and like how well I did, and like any affirmations I have, and just kind of a lot of self-care, self-evaluation. And so that's just really my goal this week, this month, and just kind of being okay, and, you know, just not overwhelming myself with a lot of it, because it's not so much hard, it's just so much like the fear of a lot of it, and you're just excited. And so
And
that's
sometimes
just what I'm focusing
I
on.
get what you're saying, because you can analyze till you paralyze, and
That's what's happened. Yep.
you overthink and you want to be on that stage and doing that, but there's a if you reverse engineered being on the stage at Summit to now, you would be, oh, okay, nah, can't do that. That's a lot of steps. So Ashley, your social media, I haven't seen it as much, but there was a chunk of time there where you were doing all sorts of, you do the most fun and funny you know, IG reels, and you know, funny ones, and where you're talking and remember, and I haven't seen them a lot lately, but if you think about like Coke and Pepsi and all these big brands, right? They've been around for years, but they still have a billboard. They still have a bill. We all know what they are, but they still will put a billboard up, and people will be driving and think, oh, I'm thirsty, I feel like a Coke or whatever. Hopefully they don't drink Coke, but I'm just, but if we do want to build this, we have to continually do those things. And it's not that they're hard, they're quite easy. And everything that you're saying that you're going to do starting now, like this week and everything, that's the kind of stuff that other people, and you can blur it out. Like you could just write your little notes about what you're, hold your pen and be writing about what you're, and do your thing and blur it, or like take a photo of it, but make it, funky or whatever, and say my goals for this week. I've got to do this, but that's part of your journey currently. And other people need that kind of direction. Because they're scrambled. Everybody's scrambled. This whole world has gone crazy in the last 2 years. So I would personally, because your posts are so amazing, I would post your journey, but keep it to yourself. As far as, don't post, exactly what you're doing, but make it look fun, classy or whatever, but post that kind of stuff, and people will. And then you can ask the question and people will see, oh, well, she's walking the walk, so I want to do what she's doing. She's focusing on the future of her health, or whatever.
Yeah.
And sharing your story, for sure. I think all of us should be constantly sharing, even though we feel like we've said it maybe a million times. There's continually new people watching, so definitely share your story. Well, I love that. That's very good. Does anybody, oh, there, okay, you next.
Can we continue talking about connecting with people?
Sure.
So I joined as a coach in April, so not a very long time. And I know that the people who are just on my Facebook friends groups and so on, they're seeing what I'm doing, but there's always, I've reached out to the people that I'm quite connected with, and everyone's kind of like, all right, yeah, kind of like, yeah, you just started this thing, that's cool, I'll message you about it later, kind of thing. And I am come here with questions about connecting with people before, and so I've been following people on Instagram. I know it's not a huge thing, but I have my evening coach Instagram. So I love personal development, and before I started as a coach, I started a blog, and I wanted to connect this with my blog. So I'm figuring out how to transform that wellness into that, but it's really like it. So I'm focusing on growing that public IG account. And last week, again, not huge, but like to have 20 new followers for me, I was like, yes. But like that's kind of cool. Yeah. Cause I was like, I'm making an effort. Tagging when we watched, was it Andre and then Angie? One of them I think it was Angie who said, be super mindful with your tags. So like look for the tags that only 5,000 to 50,000 people have used, not like 6 million people. So, and that has worked. I mean, well, 20, but again, keep in mind, I have like 80 followers. 20 is actually progress.
That is a
from
lot.
60 to 80. You're like, yes. But I guess this whole thing is about that I would like to ask is about connecting with people. What strategies do you use? What do you, other than, and again, I should post reels. Sorry, now I'm rambling. What do you guys use to connect with people? Period.
Well, for me, I mean, I have grown. Facebook was always my go-to because I'm older and Facebook was out first. So, and Facebook for me, I find it super easy to add people because you'll get all sorts of different types of people, but a lot of my people have come through there. And it's just a literally a matter of, you go onto your own Facebook or something, you scroll down and it'll say people you have people in common with or something like that. And then you can check them out, but if I see I've got 83 friends in common or whatever, I'll hit send a friend request, and that's easy. I do that. I can do that 30 times in a day. And sometimes people right away will respond and just say yes. Very rarely. I had one woman just say, I saw you friend requested me, and are you, and I haven't talked to her. I said, yeah, no, that's the way, one of the ways I build my network. If you'd prefer we don't become friends, that's totally fine with me. Oh, no, I want to. So you just be strong, be confident. And if you're open to it, join being my friend, that's great. And if not, that's okay too, because I'm just the world is different now, and so this is a way of networking. I used to go to events. Like you could say, I used to go to board of trade events or chamber events or whatever, but it's a different world now. So this is my way of connecting. And if you're open to it, great. And if not, that's fine too. But if you say that and give them an out, they usually don't want to take it. And then you got to go to town on your posting, because then you want them to be watching what you're doing and getting to know who you are that way. So that's one way. And Crystal, she has taught me, she's gone. But when she was here,
She's here.
Oh, she is there? I didn't see her. Well, she taught me about the Instagram and how to, because that's new for me. So Facebook is the way I've reached out. I have had a longer journey physically meeting people because I've been around a lot and I've been very involved in the chambers and this, that, and the other. So I do have a lot of people I can draw on. Because it's a tricky time right now, because you can't physically go out and meet with people or as much as we used to be able to. But yeah, that's definitely, you're doing the right thing. If you've got 20 new followers in a week, like if you did that over a course of a month, that's 80 new people, 80 new eyeballs on you.
Yeah.
Well, 100.
No, that tagging thing.
They have 2 eyes. Sorry.
Yeah, the tagging thing really worked. So with that, and another thing, that's not really working is I'm trying to just send out messages to people who I just start following or who use similar hashtags and be like, hey, but they're like basically strangers. And I did this to like 50 people. And I think I got 2 people respond back with like, do you want to be an ambassador? And I'm like, no, I don't want to be an ambassador, but like things like that.
Don't discount, just sorry to interrupt, but don't discount people who either ask you that, because they are humans too, and they might want to be doing what you're doing. Also, don't discount if somebody reaches out to you and says they sell Pampered Chef or Mary Kay or any of them. Wow, that sounds great. So you're in a network marketing. Is this your first one that you've been in? Like, carry on a conversation like that. And sometimes those people are going to be they'll definitely be your customers, because they might, like, I have a woman who is into Modere. There's a ton of Modere people out there, and their big thing is the collagen. And I've said, maybe it's a good compliment but not become a coach, but become a customer with Beachbody, do the workouts and the exercise and everything, do your collagen and sell your collagen because it's helped your joints or whatever. But collaborate. Think of collaborating with every human that you speak to. Think of collaborating with them, to not just, because if we're only thinking about what you can get from them, which you're not, everybody on here is awesome and kind and sweet. And I know that your heart's in the right place. But I think part of the reason why we get stuck is because we feel like we're asking them we're trying to sell them something like that. But if you come at it more of a collaboration with them on whatever it is they're doing, maybe there's a way, and just start the conversation. Maybe there's a way we can work together. Like, let's think outside the box, blah, 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 blah. And that is a really good way to connect with people and get to know them better. And eventually, that's how I've received a lot, or had a lot of customers join me.
That's pretty cool. That's great to know.
Can I interject a little bit about IG for so something that has worked for me is I started a new IG. I had another one. I had a couple thousand people following me, but I started this one 2 months ago. I've got a few hundred people now. And what I do is what I've just started to do, and I was taught by one of the top 10 coaches to do, and I know that some of my clients do, is that I pick someone that has like 24,000, 50,000, 300, whatever, thousand people following them. Like for me, it's sobriety. So I picked someone that wrote a book about recovery, and they've got like 645,000 followers. I go in there and I will add 50 people from there. I don't care who they are, as long as they look like they're of age.
and they look normal, not weird. I don't know if that makes any sense. Like, okay, you look normal. So, and I don't go in and look at what they're doing. I add 50, but what I do is when they follow me back, say I get 10 followers back, then I look and I see, okay, is that my person? If they're not my person, you can remove follower. You hit this, you go onto their thing and you remove follower. So then once, if they're my person and they follow me back, I add them to a collection. So I'll add them to a collection called September. And this is every person that follows me back. So for a few weeks, every day for 15 minutes, I go in and I connect with everybody in that collection. I go on to their posts and I make an actual something that connects to me about one of their posts or pictures, and I make a comment and I make sure I'm at least liking or commenting on something every day. But sometimes you can get a very big following, like a big list for September. So you do what you can in 10 minutes, and then the next day you can start from the bottom or start from the middle or whatever. And then at least when you're going to invite them, like if I start seeing them in my stories and on my posts, then I'll invite them to something free. And then I will, watch their stories and then invite them to a group. So then at least it's not like someone that, you follow them, they follow you back, and then all of a sudden you're inviting them. No, you've been connecting with them for a few weeks. So, I haven't had anyone go no, F off or anything. They've been fine with it when you're doing that. So it's just as simple as adding that.
You said that because I did this with the other day. I'm not a mom, but there's a lot of parent groups that have such great followings and people who are just wanting to lean on each other. And I was like, lean on me. So I'm I just went in because the people who are tagging are also people who are looking for a big following. So I was like, okay, I need to go one step away from this and get to the people who are following these people who are posting. And so I did exactly what you said, but I wasn't sure what I was doing. I was just I love the idea of adding them to a collection, and then commenting on their stuff too, and seeing if they're your people. This was all leading to a question. You said, and then you invite them to something free, but it's Instagram, so there isn't groups on Instagram unless I'm totally.
I personally have a free group that I run, like a 5-day free something every month.
On Instagram?
No, on Facebook. I invite them over to Facebook. If they don't have Facebook, they don't want to go to Facebook, then I give them a freebie. I give them a meal plan. I give them the PDF of free workouts to try, or win your morning PDF, anything, something that resonates with you that has to do with your brand is also a good thing.
Okay.
Say addiction for me, it's a big thing is having a morning routine. So I have a lot of my followers have to do with sobriety or being sober curious. And so I give them things like that. Win your morning and having a routine is really good for keeping sober, as well as physical activity. So you can bring it even farther and send them the PDF that we have. I think it's 14 workouts of the free ones. And then you can go back, you can write that person's name down and you can go back and be like, oh, did you try one of the workouts? How did you like it? Did you know, have you seen in my stories that I run this other group? Would it be something that you're interested in? Because if you're commenting on all those stuff, then it'll show, Instagram will think, oh, you have a relationship with this person. So they're going to start showing your posts to them. But if you're just adding people and then not, being social with them, then Instagram isn't going to show.
Okay. That all quality advice. And obviously I came very prepared because I have one more thing that connects to exactly what you just said. And then I'll be done. It's about content. So you send them a PDF of the workouts. I love that PDF. I think that's such an amazing resource that you guys have shared. But in general, we have our coach hub on Facebook, and then there's the media, and then there's people who just post really amazing things. And I get shy about saying things like, I'm really busy, because I know everybody here is really busy. So, and yes, you work very hard to make your own content. But I think something that attracted me to Beachbody at the beginning was, we all share content and we make things available to each other. So do you guys often take things from the Coach Hub and use that on your stories and your posts? Do you have any advice around that? Is that a no? Is that a, yeah, I do that? I feel
Like you can always ask someone, but generally if they're putting something there, it's to share. Like if you ever see anything on my, I don't know if you follow me on my social media, if you ever see anything that I have, you can just reach out and ask. It's fine, totally fine with me. And some things you'll have to tweak to make it sound like you. As long as you're still having your own voice, I think that it's fine. And the Coach Hub, though, generally people are putting that stuff there to share.
There's somebody who puts like, I can't remember off the top of my head, but with every post they have like 6 quotes, and I'm like, oh, that one. And I was like, I don't want to share that one right away. That's basically like stealing hers, but it fits. That's my, that's something I would share. But then I'm like, yeah.
I share quotes on mine, but like you can give them credit too in the comments. Like,
Actually,
this quote that I seen really resonated with me. Thanks to blah 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 for sharing.
Yeah.
People, I share people's quotes to my stories all the time, and that gets their eyes on my stories.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I asked the same thing actually, because the quality of the posts that we do that have come to us from Mompreneur, right? Crystal, Mompreneur,
we don't use them, but like other coaches do.
Or okay, but they're quality posts with amazing words. And I've said the same thing. Can I use that on my social media? And I think we can. We just can't, or maybe
take credit for it.
They pay for it. So you have to be kind of careful, but there's a lot of stuff on there. MJ, she posts, I tag her posts all the time. I haven't used them yet, but she'll post a photo of herself with her beautiful body. And then beside that, she'll have like she just did one, movement is medicine. And I just thought,
that's the one. I was like,
I know. I did too. Okay, give me that one. Give me that one. But but save it. So and Kim, my best friend Kim, who's walking down here to go for a walk, and she posts all the time. She's got incredible. We have to be the women we want our daughters to be. Like she constantly posts amazing. And I've said to her, can I steal, because she's got tons of quotes and from like a year ago. And she said, go ahead. Like you can find it on Pinterest, but use mine if you want. And so I have done that. I've stolen her stuff, and just to help me be consistent, because I work full time, 8:30 to 4:30, Monday to Friday at the Health and Tech District, dealing with a lot of different people. So I don't have time to reinvent the wheel.
Yes.
So you can use a lot of that stuff. And it's very simple and easy. And then even look at the words she used to describe what she did and make them your own. And that's what I was saying. And even Ashley too, for your, your new journey, your start again, your do-over, just, you could use some posts right now that say that. There's some really great quotes out there that, if you stumble, you get up, you stumble. And that's what people are going through right now. Like exactly what you're saying. People are having that situation during this crazy time. So just make sure that you show people your journey, a little bit of it. Because you know what? Chances are we're all going to fall again and again and again and again. So we, just like every other human out there, and that's all we're trying to do is collaborate, communicate, and hopefully help them on their journey.
There's an app that I use called, I use Plan, but there's a few different ones, where I take 7 photos. Like I use today is I put a couple different outfits on and I take 7 different photos. So I can upload them all into that app without any saying underneath. And then when something comes to mind, I can plop one underneath there. Or you can say you see 7 quotes that you love, you can upload them. You can like screenshot or whatever, upload them to that. And then it will show you, you can move them around to show you what your grid on Instagram would look like. So I have my posts a lot of the time planned out. Like I was doing 2 pictures and a quote. Now I'm doing 5 pictures and a quote. So, because I just don't have time to look for quotes all the time. I was finding I was taking too long. So I can move them all around on the screen and just make it so that like I can see, okay, well, I have to find words for a picture that, you know, I'm wearing a workout outfit, so I can talk about whatever my program. So like sometimes I get lots of good ideas, and then other days I have nothing. So I'm like, oh, I have this wonderful picture and I have nothing to say, or I have something to say and I don't have a picture, so it'll be in plan. So like generally I have like 10 pictures waiting for me to say something underneath already. So that's one thing you do. And it's free as long as you're not posting more than 30 a month. But you can also just like copy and paste over instead of, it'll post it for you. You can schedule it even.
That's
But
really
she's brilliant with Instagram, Crystal is, just so you know.
We follow each other there.
I'm finding it a little, because I am just restarting. So like I'm finding it kind of hard to, well, I want the SC points now. I want people to join now. So I'm like, oh, I've been going back to my old account and I don't really want to do that. I want to close it. So the connecting is like really, really important when you have new accounts. So you're planting the seeds right now. So don't be too like, you know, people will watch. You just have to be consistent.
Okay.
I'm having a hard time with that, especially as an addict. Like I want everything now.
Yeah.
You know, sorry, going back to the tagging thing too, and Crystal, you might know more about this because I learned this at my job actually. A lot of people, so there's a difference between hashtags is one thing. When you post something and you hashtags Bernie's Mountain, like I do Bernie's Mountain Dog puppy, because that's what I have. But in the quote, in what you're saying, I think you can, I initially thought, well, isn't that a breach of privacy or something? When we're posting something about the Health and Technology District and we're putting in, we had a wonderful time at Surrey Board of Trade and Surrey Board of Trade. So we're now tagging Surrey Board of Trade in the just like tagging a friend, but you're tagging a company. So had a great time at Surrey Board of Trade. And I guess they'll see it, right, Crystal? It'll come up on their Instagram or their LinkedIn or whatever.
Yeah, it'll notify them
that we
someone tagged them,
and then they could either but what I'm saying is this what Crystal or Christina and others do when they say they hashtag or at, sorry, not hashtag, but at Lululemon or at, you know, so you're wearing outfits from Lululemon or you're wearing outfits from Sport Check and I love my new shorts at Sport Check. Can you do that? Are you allowed to? Like,
yeah, well, it's free advertising for them because people like sometimes they'll even put you on their page, like thanks for the shout out, blah blah blah, or in their stories, and then someone might be like, oh shit, who's this, and click on it, and then you've got that person coming over to you. So there's no reason why you can't do that.
Yeah, so that's
and if they don't like what you're posting, they just don't repost it. It doesn't matter. Yeah. It's only your people that will see it.
Yeah. So just think about that, you guys, and I got to think about that too. I do it at work, but I've never done it for my own personal Beachbody business. But if I, you know, I just bought, well, this is something silly, but just bought this planner on Instagram or on Amazon. It finally came, but it's a little small. I thought it was going to be a lot bigger, but it's a little small. But I mean, even that's not maybe a good example, but you're posting, you know, as I say, your workout outfit, your I don't even know if you do go to some sort of maybe not a gym, but something to do with fitness and working out, tag that company. Or if you go to, like I went and did the Surrey Board of Trade golf tournament. I probably should have posted something because that 6:45 workout, I do find that really helped me with my swing and all that stuff. So it's like you can relate your fitness business to companies and yeah maybe get more eyeballs on you.
That's really cool.
before we have to hang up, I can't see everybody on the call. I can see, and I don't want to mess it up because, so can someone take a photo if you can see all of us? Someone, because I can only see people down the right side, and then Crystal right now is big. I can see you, but
Oh no.
I can't see. But I'm saying whoever's speaking, I can see, but I can't see everyone else is in the side. So if somebody has all of us on the screen, can they take a photo? Anybody?
I'll just smiling.
Did somebody take a photo?
I don't know. I can't. I have. I'm on my phone.
Did anybody take a photo?
I'll take it. I'll take it. Actually, here, I'll take it. Okay. I'll count to 3 and everyone.
All right.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. There. I took 2.
Thank you.
I took 2 different ones. Yes. Where should I put it? Want me? Where do I send it? What do you want to do?
Put it into the.
Free to be chat, maybe.
Yeah, put it into the chat. Put it into.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll put that picture in there and.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry guys, I didn't know how this was going to look on my screen because I've never used my Mac on Zoom, but all I can see, like now I see beautiful Ashley on a big screen and just a bar of people on the side. So I do have to step up my game and make sure that I figure stuff out for when I do stand on that stage and say, I couldn't figure out a Zoom call, but I got through. See?
I only figured it out yesterday, I think. And there's one of the little top, because if you're on your Mac, I think it's either your meeting, you have to go to grid view.
I see. Oh no, it just disappeared. Hang on.
Yeah, you just have to go to grid view through one of those options. But before we go,
I found it. Okay, go. Thank you. Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's the somebody asked me about the 3-day refresh, what the fiber tastes like. They want it for their daughter, and they've never the daughter doesn't like any fiber shake. So has anyone tried?
Yeah.
How's the fiber?
Well, it's what I do with it, because it's not my favorite part, but it's only 3. You only have to do it once each day. So I take it, I put the 1 cup of water in it, and I shake ice cold water, maybe even some ice as well. Shake it the heck out of it and just drink it back, because it starts to get thicker if you don't drink it back fast. That, in my opinion, I don't know if anybody else, but some people say I really like the taste because it does taste lemony, but it is gritty. Yeah. It definitely is gritty. But if
absolutely disgusting.
Yeah. Yeah. But if you think about doing it just that okay, just got to get this over with. It's like taking cod liver oil. Just get it over with, drink it, and then get on your water.
It gets chunky. I always, when I'm taking it, I'm like, okay, Crystal, you're a goddamn adult. You can do this. And I just take a fork and I just quickly do it as fast as I can.
You got to go fast. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. And if they are doing the 3-day refresh too,
okay, well, good.
Just so you know, add the yoga in. Do the yoga. I think it really helped when I did it the last time, doing that yoga. And it's funny, this is going to sound gross, and I still have it on recording. But anyways, the people listening will get a real kick out of this one. But I was on the day 1, and so I was doing the yoga, and it was Elise that was doing the yoga that day. And if you do yoga, you hear people say how it's like, you know, you're stretching your whatever colon, or your lower this, and your intestine here, and your kidney, and your this and your that. But you really do, like, or it did for me. Like, it was like, okay, this will cleanse you. It's some sort of a twist or something. I'm kind of thinking, oh my God, this isn't, but it did. It did.
Yep.
No.
So yoga works.
Stretching. Yeah.
Yeah. No. Anyways, that was sorry. I had to share before we stopped recording, because people need to know that.
Thank you for answering all my questions, team.
There you go. Does anybody else have anything?
Wait, one more thing.
Okay.
I wanted to jot before you guys come off. What I've seen has worked for me with inviting people in is, you know how you get random questions? If you post consistently, you'll get random questions from either people that have been watching your stories or people that are interested but never say anything. So what I did was round up all those questions and I decided I'm going to start making reels or post more quotes about that. So a lot of questions I've been getting is, where do you get your fitness gear from? And I realized my niche is working with moms that have kids that are 10 years and older. So I get questions, how do you make time? And I also homeschool my kids. So it's like, okay, how do you make time to fit in your workout? So now I'm doing workouts that are between 20 and 30 minutes. And then that I'll gravitate towards working with people like that. So I've gotten so far off of a reel I made, I've gotten four women that have 2 kids in the same age range with mine that are interested. So now I'm deciding I'm creating reels with my kids more, and I'm creating reels where it has to do with time management. So that's what I'm working on now, because I just realized that people are starting to ask questions regarding that. So I'm just saying
That's
that's
awesome.
my niche, how I'm getting.
I love that idea. I love that idea. I'm
Yeah.
writing it down right now because you're absolutely right. For me, at my age, because I'm almost 57, people would say, how do you have the energy? Or how, or I'm,
Yeah.
or how do you get up that early? Like that's such a great idea. Like
Yeah.
you could post the question in like in
Mhm.
a block, or if you did a carousel, you could do
Yeah.
the question, how do you wake up so early? How do you work out? How come you have so much energy? And then
I realized I haven't been including that, and all I've been posting was the workouts. Oh, this is what I'm doing. This is,
yeah,
but if people want to know, but how do you make the time? Are you
Yeah.
home all day? Like, how do you know? And I'm like, that's a good question. Well, let me start making some reels about that. Let me start posting some quotes about it. And then that would grab more attention. And that's 4
That-
women so far. And I'm like, oh, this is it.
I love that. I love that. That's that ask the question that other people are thinking when they look
Yeah.
at your feed, or they're asking themselves, oh, or they are saying, I couldn't do that because I'm too
Exactly.
old. I couldn't do that because I've got arthritis. I couldn't do that because I, had my hip replaced. I couldn't do that
Right.
because I had an accident.
Exactly.
Like you're, thank you for speaking.
Yes.
Another thing that you can do, I can't remember who told me this a long time ago though. You know how you can put like ask me a question in those question boxes in your story?
Oh yeah, yes.
You can answer your own question if nobody
That's a good
asks
one too.
you
Yeah.
any questions. So you can be like, so you can use your objections in that, like if something that someone says, I don't have enough money, or even about coaching. Ask me anything about coaching. You can answer your own question and then you can repost it, like say it's right here, and then talk about it. That question, like, or
That's a
whatever,
good one.
anything like that. I've seen people do that before, and I always forget, but that's a good one. So you can talk about coaching like that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I love that. I love the question thing. So there we go. So now that we're all know exactly what to do, by next
Right.
week, we all should be 1-star diamonds. No, I'm just Oh, no, I love that we're all sharing. And Brenda's joined us. Brenda, just so you know, she's a relatively new coach again, but she was a coach with us in when she lived here in Vancouver, but now she's moved to Ontario, and she's opened a Merle Norman cosmetics store. So she's got her own brick and mortar business, and now she's also doing the coaching too. And we're trying to figure out ways to collaborate. Remember, Sammy, like we're going to try and figure out ways to collaborate and incorporate fitness, health and fitness with beauty, like skincare, skin fitness, health and fitness. So,
and I tell you, I'm absolutely exhausted. I 7 days a week, I'm tired. I need to work out and feel better. One thing I found with my business page is if you pay the $25 or whatever you want to boost your post, it's amazing how much business you will get. I have gotten, just from Facebook, 250 clients in the last 6 weeks.
Get out.
oh,
just from paying that extra money to boost my post.
Wow.
Yeah, Facebook is pay to play, especially with a business page.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
Which post, Brenda? Which post?
I have done multiple posts on my Merle Norman page.
Oh, on
I
your
have done,
Merle Norman page. Okay.
I boost them out and get clients that way.
Well, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so now do you have to have a business page to do that? You probably have to have a business page, a Facebook business page.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's another thing, you
Yeah.
guys, if you don't have a Facebook business page, you could create one, and then start pulling, just posting, I guess that would be, what would that be then? It's just your own fitness business?
Yeah. And just post a workout or anything to do with Beachbody. And then there's a button, you just click boost post.
Yeah.
Select your people that you want for it to reach.
Yeah.
How much you want to spend.
Yeah.
The way it goes.
So it's funny that you should say that, Brenda, because that's the way I used to do it. And then I know Facebook changed everything and all that stuff. So everybody's saying, forget it, don't do it and all this stuff. But here we are listening to you and you're saying you spent $25 and now have 250 customers. So you guys, let's maybe do some research on having a Facebook business page and do it and starting to build that puppy up. It might only have 10, 20 people in to start, but you boost it and get more people in there, maybe prizing or something, I don't know, something to draw them in, giveaways, things like that. And there you go. Thank you, Brenda.
Oh, you're welcome.
Well, I'm looking forward to working with Brenda too on health and fitness, because she just had her niece over for the last month. And so she hasn't been able to focus on herself. So we're going to do that moving forward, but that's awesome. Love that. Well, there you go. Anybody else? Andressa, do you have anything you'd like to add?
I could. So I've been thinking about I started to yesterday, but like for years, I've been following this makeup girl who like sells Senegence makeup, and she does hair tutorials and all that. And I haven't tried her makeup yet. So her tactics haven't worked on me yet, but I still follow her because I do want to try them one day. But I also like the way she goes about like how she promotes her business and how she builds her team. And so I always like pay attention to that. And she will post, I don't know, maybe once a week or once every 2 weeks. She already has it like typed out. She probably made it on Canva or whatever, like how to join my team, what is Senegence, like all these things that are already like typed out with like pretty, just like these pretty stories that people can like read or refer back to and like frequently asked questions or whatever. And so since she like consistently posts those things, like people already get like that interest of like, oh, maybe I could join her team. Oh, she makes it seem like it's so easy, or it's not like a taboo topic, like, oh, like MLM, or like she makes it seem like so natural and easy. And so I was thinking like how we could do that. Like I started making one yesterday that I was like, how to join me, and then I had like challenge as a challenger or as a coach, and then like a little tiny description of that, and like a following thing like what's in the challenge pack, or what is a challenge pack, so people can like know, since we obviously can't talk to every single person that we follow. Like the goal is to talk to every single person that watches us and follows us or whatever, but like if they already see like all the details, because I think you just said, right, that people get confused as to what we do, and so like I felt like having it all typed out, like explaining, and then we could like save it to our highlights or whatever, so people can like, new people that come to our page can see that. So that's what I was working on yesterday.
I think that's a great way, because we need to be a little bit more black and white with what the hell we do because people just don't know. They just don't get it. So I love that. That's a great idea. I know that might want to avoid putting the word Beachbody on anything, just so you know, because I've had a ton of people that if I've said the word Beachbody, they go to the Beachbody website and they order something, which is very wonderful. They're doing what I've asked them to do, but they have no idea that, you know, you can do it through me and we can do it together. So you do have to be, so you have to then present yourself as a fitness trainer, health and fitness specialist, coach, whatever, but keep the brand out of it. Otherwise they might just go and do their thing without you. So
yeah, no, I totally agree. When I was a coach 4 years ago, before I had to take a break, I was talking to an old friend about, because he started like posting his transformation from, I forgot what program he was doing. Maybe he was doing P90X. And so I started talking to him about it, and he wasn't a coach. He was just doing the program and sharing his results. And I was like, well, you're already a coach. Like you should become a coach. You'd be great at it. You're basically already doing it. But he didn't understand that I was a coach and that's what I do. And that, like join my team, and he was just like, oh, cool. I'll look into it. Is there a website or whatever? I'm like, no, bro, that's up to me.
I know.
So yeah, we have to be very clear.
So the big message from my meeting is be very clear of what you do when you're talking to people. Don't be wishy-washy. Don't be gray. Be black and white. People love that. And then at least they'll know what the hell you're doing and that you're a coach and that you want to build your team and you would love to build it with them. Black and white. So there you go. All right. I've kept you guys for like an hour and 12 minutes. So I will let you get back to your, okay, so let me just stop recording here. How do you do that? You hit pause, stop.